Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Oakland County Executive David Coulter.
Hello. Good afternoon. I think I'm the last thing between you and lunch, so I'll try to be entertaining. I want to thank you for inviting me to this important discussion about regionalism and the path that it could look like for the next decade. I believe that the factors that have held us back for decades, frankly, the rhetoric and sometimes even the complacency, no longer exist. And it is time to embrace the benefits of regional cooperation. And yes, I am the Oakland County Executive, so that you might not... Now keep in mind that in some measure, it is already happening as we speak, right? When a healthcare worker tested positive for TB recently, our health department worked seamlessly with the Macomb County Health Department, as one example. Our Business Finance Corporation has provided SBA loans in 13 counties throughout Southeast Michigan, right? Our law enforcement leaders, they already understand that criminals don't respect boundaries, and they can't either, and so Oakland County is really proud of the fact that we implemented the CLEMIS system, the Courts and Law Enforcement Management Information System, which now is giving law enforcement information and data in 10 counties and 235 member agencies. Very proud of that. And we just hosted something really cool. I don't know how many of you were there, but the My Career Quest, which was for high school students all throughout Southeast Michigan, was recently held. 9,000 students came to Novi from around this region to get hands-on experience in 200 in-demand jobs that we need now. So a wonderful example of what we're already doing. It's already also occurring naturally among our residents. You know, more than ever, our residents see the city of Detroit and our regional assets as adding value to their quality of life in Oakland County. Our young people want to be in or near an urban center. It's partly why Ferndale, where I was the mayor for 9 years, was so attractive to a lot of younger people. And as they start their families and settle into one of our wonderful suburbs or exurbs or even in our rural areas, we believe that the options in Oakland County are enhanced and strengthened because of our place in this incredible region. So this regionalism is also occurring over our shared challenges. A lot of us have been focused recently on the almost daily, on this chemical spill on 696 in Madison Heights. And chemical spills don't respect boundaries either. So we're working with Macomb and the state and others to ensure that comprehensive testing is going on throughout this region. But we also know, and this is what keeps me up at night just as much as that spill, that we have to work together to confront the enormity of this challenge around the state, because there are 3,000 known contaminated active sites across the state of Michigan that need remediation. So we can't do that kind of work alone. But today, I want to focus on the economic drivers of regionalism. This is a chamber event after all. And as the Oakland County Executive, I represent and promote Oakland County businesses and workers, as do each of the regional leaders who do that in their own areas. So Oakland County has long been known as an economic powerhouse in Michigan, frankly. Last year, 2019, we had $500 million in economic investment in Oakland County. 41% of it, by the way, by companies headquartered outside the United States. It's a huge point because we need to be thinking globally as a region, not against each other, right? We continue to be the leader in Michigan in growing the economy here in terms of jobs. We produce about 30% of all the jobs that get created in Michigan each and every year. Our post-secondary education attainment rate is the second highest in the state. I must tell you that as a Spartan, it's hard for me to acknowledge that Washtenaw County is beating us, but we're coming after you, Blue, so watch out. But as we started to take a look at developing a new Oakland County economic development strategy, which is what I and my team are doing, we have to understand that our competition is not with our regional partners, but it's as a region against other parts of the country and the world, frankly. And that's how we're going to approach regional economic development under my administration. Thank you. So that's why, for instance, I joined the Detroit Regional Partnership, which my predecessor had not chosen to do. But I'll tell you, it was more than just a gesture. This 11-county partnership is focused aggressively on business attraction to Southeast Michigan. So just think of the duplication that has already exists and currently exists in our economic development efforts when we're all going out there chasing these same companies together, separately, trying to get them to this region. I believe that if we work together through the Detroit Regional Partnership, we can attract these companies to our region, and then they will self-select the areas that they want to go to within this great region. And you know what? I think Oakland County will get its fair share of those. So I'm not worried about that. If we're honest with each other, we can have that kind of a relationship, and we can make great companies move here as a result. So I strongly believe that we can do this together. It's also why I've been a proponent, since I first ran for office in 2002 as county commissioner, of stronger regional transit. So let me give you some data points that I think reinforce this. 40% of the workers in Oakland County don't live in Oakland County, and they need mobility options to get there. Our employers need mobility options to get their employees to us. Almost a third of all the jobs in Oakland County are not served by one of the current transit options. 300,000 people. And by the way, Oakland County workers travel outside of Oakland County as well. Almost 20% of them go to Wayne County. I see the Wayne County executive here. So this is, these borders are artificial, and we need to start treating them as such. 9%, yeah. 9% of Oakland County households have no access to an automobile. So I have a goal as a county leader of making sure that everyone in Oakland County has access to services that would improve their quality of life. And then the other thing is, and this follows national trends, but in Oakland County, our senior population is projected to grow from where it is now, 15% of the population approximately, to over 25% by 2045. I'll be joining that group, by the way. So our seniors need better mobility options than we're providing them now, and that need is only going to grow. So when I talk about keeping up with other regions, this is critically important. We have to think regionally because we are in competition with regions like Atlanta and Denver and Indianapolis and Seattle and Columbus and Minnesota. And guess what? All of these regions have made significant investments in transit over the last decade. And it's not a coincidence that in those regions that I just identified, their population has grown 17% over the last decade. Now, if you're not aware, what they call the Detroit urban area, so the urbanized area of metropolitan Detroit over the last decade lost 6% of its population. We have a brain drain going on here, and I'm not saying that transit is the silver bullet, but it is a piece of what our young people and seniors and workers are looking for to make sure that we are as attractive as those other regions, because I believe that we are. So when I became county executive, I met with the leaders in the region, and we've been talking about this issue. But I also said, I want to revisit that 2016 plan. I'm not interested in simply dusting it off and selling it better, although it's a good foundational plan. But it failed in Oakland County. And so we've been spending a lot of time on figuring out, why did it fail? What other value could we bring to this plan that would help more voters see that? And that includes all over Oakland County. And so we've been working diligently on that, meeting with people all over the county having these conversations and trying to find out what can we do to enhance that plan so that it is of greater value to Oakland County. And I believe, I'm optimistic, if we can get this legislation done in the next couple of weeks in Lansing, and again, working with our regional partners, I believe that we can have a transit solution that will benefit everyone in this region this year. That's the goal. But as I said, the trick is getting the plan right, so much more to follow. Let me just say, as someone who grew up in St. Clair Shores, has worked in the city of Detroit, and now has settled in Oakland County, I'm really enthusiastic about what we can do together as a region. I'm done with these artificial boundaries. I really am. And now I think more important, we have a priority more important than ever as a region and an opportunity to move together forward together. We have elected leaders who are now working better together than they ever have, and I include myself in that. I want to be the kind of leader that does that. And we have the opportunity because many of their economic challenges have been resolved. So we're now at an opportunity where all of us are actually economically sound. We have the ability, the financial ability and wherewithal to move these plans together, and we haven't had that in the region. So this is an amazing opportunity. My word of caution to you, though, is that we have to be intentional about our work. It's going to require ongoing relationship building, public education, sort of a version of collective impact, right? We have to be intentional. And I think the leadership of the Detroit Regional Chamber and many of the CEOs have been indispensable to that. We need to be sure that we have business leaders in every county championing these issues. We have to make sure that the major institutions are advocating in their county as well as the regions. We have to make sure that our foundations are doing work in each county and that the media is covering agreement and not just disagreement, because there's a lot more that we share in alike than separates us. And we need media partners to help tell those stories as well. We have to encourage local governments to do the same thing that we're trying to do at a county level, because there's much work to be done there. So in just a few short weeks, I'm going to present my first State of the County address. And the invitation says, Oakland Together. I want to describe my vision for how within Oakland County we work together to form these partnerships during this time of transition. But I also want to describe the value of Oakland County working together on the issues that are important in this region, because we're going to do that in my administration, and I hope you will all join me. I hope you'll join me at my State of the County, and I hope you join me in this regional discussion as we move forward. So, again, thank you very much.